So Romans 12, 1 through 2 says, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living and holy sacrifice, acceptable to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect." Now, of course, Paul has to say living sacrifice because some of us are not so smart that we would think maybe he means I should sacrifice my body. Obviously, it's about a transformed body, a body that whose eyes do not look to lust and whose body doesn't desire to just seek pleasure. And this is how we worship in our bodies. So it's not just about going to church and singing on Sunday. It's about how you live every moment of your life. And the way we do this, how do we reach that state where our every reflex is to honor God? Well, it starts with transforming our mind, how we think about everything. And that is ultimately a shift in our pride, because our pride is always seeking its own benefit. And that's the curse, the Luciferian curse, right? Is that we think we can do better than God can do. And so it makes me think back to Proverbs 9, which has this amazing contrast between the woman of wisdom and the woman of folly. And the woman of wisdom is always crying out in the public square, in the street, inviting everyone to her table to come and enjoy the richness of wisdom. And folly, she's just sitting at the door of her house, and she's inviting everybody who passes by in, but she's very secret about it. And she offers this secret knowledge that that's going to somehow make you enjoy all the pleasures of this world and going to make you a king and a ruler of this world. But if we have wisdom from God, if our mind has been renewed enough, we get to this place where it's very obvious when somebody's trying to lure us into something that is of no eternal value. It's like we can see the eternal value of a sunrise or a sunset or an incredible mountainscape or the ocean, and we just know, wow, this is something that I could look at forever. But folly is this picture of something that seems like it's going to satisfy, but it never does. And so instead we keep going back to it more and more and more, trying to somehow catch the initial rush that we got from the first high from it, if we're going to be honest. This is the contrast between wisdom that seeks eternal value and folly, which seeks temporal value that is never going to satisfy. This is where our minds can be renewed, or they can be stuck in a loop, a trap of negativity and self-destruction and self-centeredness, thinking that we're better than other people and trying to manipulate situations because we can't have people see us for who we really are. When you look at a person, do you see the image of God in them? Or do you see just that physical sin, the weakness, their brokenness? And do you think to yourself, well, I'm glad I'm not like them? The truth is, you're just like them. No matter how well you have formed your inner being, there's still parts of us that still think we're better than someone else, or that we deserve better than we're getting, or there's pride always scratching at the door like folly, trying to invite us into this thinking about ourselves instead of thinking about the love that God has for each one of his creation, for his whole creation. And the newness of his eternal life that he's working into our very being so that our reflexes are a living and holy sacrifice. I hope you'll step into this world. You're going to love it.